Bonjour, Jérémy Bergeron with Ford de Canadá. First question, so you won't be back before March 15. What can you do for the tariff until there, and what do you intend to do about the tariff?
Well, these are a couple of things that I'm responsible for as a province. The federal government's leading the charge. The communication has been fabulous with the PM and the government as well. I said, number one, I don't start a tariff war, but we're going to win this tariff war. Right off the hop, I've directed the LCBO, we're the largest purchaser of alcohol in the world, to remove every bit of U.S. alcohol off the shelves. I know my good friend, the governor of Kentucky, he's losing his mind right now. I said, you better talk to your president. Mitch McConnell, senior senator from Kentucky, they're losing their mind. We purchased over $1 billion of alcohol, 3,600 products, 35 states. It's going to hit them. We call them the kitchen table issues. Then we're going to cancel Starlinks right away from Elon Musk. Not that $100 million makes a difference for him, but it's principle. I've directed the procurement of over $30 billion of goods, not to go to the U.S., to make sure we buy Ontario first. And if we can't find it in Ontario and we can't build it in Ontario, we go across the country. We have 51 tariff-free agreements with countries around the world. We're going to diversify our trade. I've been asking kindly for all the retailers, and by the way, this is a massive impact, folks. Over all of Canada, we purchase $800 billion with a B, $800 billion worth of goods from retailers. A lot comes in from the U.S. I love the software. People are just stepping up. I love going down the aisle of the shopping store or grocery store, and people are picking up to look at the back of the label. They've come up with software to scan it. A lot of people can't scan it. I'm asking politely until I implement it. Every retail store, when you go look at the shelf talker that has the price, we need to see a Canadian flag on that price. A lot of people can't pick it up and scan it. So please work with us, or we're going to legislate it and start onshoring goods from you're bringing around the world. There's nothing we can't build here in Ontario. Absolutely nothing. So I'm asking for their cooperation to do that. And that's billions. We buy over $300 billion right here in Ontario. So we're going to focus on that. I've never seen patriotism like this in my entire life, running wild across the country. And we're just going to keep ramping it up over and over again. So our 30 billions, it doesn't include the municipalities. And I know all 444 municipalities are on board, but we're going to make sure we legislate it that you're buying Ontario first, Canada second. And I get it. There's some products you aren't able to get. I get it. But I'll tell you one thing, we start shifting it, they're going to feel the pain. And they want to go after our families, take food off our tables, try to close down our companies. I'll tell you, we're going to fight like I've never fought before to protect Canada, to protect the people of Ontario and their businesses and their communities and their jobs.
The 4 new small modular reactors planned for the Darlington nuclear generating station will rely on enriched uranium coming from the U.S. Why invest in a project that will increase Ontario reliance on the U.S.?
Okay, so before I pass it over to Minister Lecce, Minister of Energy, I'll tell you this. Uranium for the U.S. comes from Saskatchewan. I've had deep conversations with my good friend, closest ally, Scott Moe, the Premier of Saskatchewan. That uranium goes over to Port Hope, Ontario to get processed. From Port Hope, it goes down to get enriched down to the U.S. I will not and cannot speak for Scott Moe. He's a patriot. He loves Canada. But if we got a stockpile or high-grade nickel here in Ontario and sell it to the world, so be it. And as for uranium, I'll leave that up to Scott to decide. The potash that fertilizes all their farming communities. As President Trump is going after our dairy farmers, we're sending them fertilizer. 87% of it is going to the U.S. And yeah, can they try to get potash everywhere else? They can, but they can't get it up the Mississippi River. So they're stuck with Canadian potash. Can they get uranium? Yeah, if they want to cozy up to Russia, which I see President Trump doing, you can try to get uranium there. But why would you do that? We want to ship more uranium, more potash, more nickel, more energy, and build an AMCAN fortress. I can't for the life of me figure out why this guy's attacking his closest neighbors, allies, and friend. Folks, I don't want to start the tariff war. You know, we want to win the tariff war. But let's see what President Trump says. He changes his mind every single day. But let me be very clear. I talk to more Americans than pretty well anyone in Canada. I talk to governors, senators, congresspeople. Not one single American said it's a great idea to attack our closest friends and cherished allies. Not one governor, not one senator, not one congressperson, Republican or Democrat, say it's a great idea to attack your largest customer. Who attacks their largest customer? And they're our largest customer. It doesn't make sense. Yes, will it hurt us? Definitely it'll hurt us. Will it hurt the Americans? It will definitely hurt the Americans. A tariff on Canada is a tax on Americans. And I'm going to repeat that on NBC, CNN, Fox News, CNBC. I'm going to be hammering the airwaves to get that message to the Americans. They're going to get hurt. It's the wrong decision. Well, we're going to have every option. We're going to use every tool in our toolbox. And I appreciate the question. But if they want to try to annihilate Ontario, I will do everything, including cut off their energy, with a smile on my face. So, and I'm encouraging every other province to do the same. Quebec, Manitoba, BC, we all have to act in unison. Out east, they rely on our energy. They need to feel the pain. They want to come at us hard, we're going to come back twice as hard. I'm not going to start a tariff war. I'm not going to be the one that pokes the line, per se. But I can assure you, he comes at us, he's going to get a rude awakening. We're unlike any other country. You know, we have 41 million people, but we're powerful. We're powerful on energy. We're powerful on nuclear energy, on oil, on goods going back and forth across the border. We buy more off the United States than any other government in the world. And I always say, President Trump, you can't unscramble an egg. The supply chain's so intertwined. You just have to make a larger omelet. That's what you have to do. And we'll see how he moves on this. But we will respond, as sure as I'm standing here, tariff for tariff, dollar for dollar. And anything that I can do as a province, we're going to do.
Let's finish it off with tariffs once again. You don't want to start a tariff war. However, we've heard a lot from you about the things that you plan on doing. Is that not essentially starting this, or at least entering into the tariff war, if not starting it?
No, that's just informing the U.S. public, the elected officials, and the president. You come at us, we aren't rolling over. You know, sure, we're going to get hurt. There's no doubt. But they're going to get hurt just as much. When they start closing the plants, auto plants, and the supply will last 5 days, by the way, before plants close on both sides of the border, because everyone knows the parts go back and forth 8 times, and they don't have the manpower to build the cars right now. And everything's working fine. Everyone's hunky-dory. Everyone's happy. But he comes in there and he wants to throw fireworks in the middle of everything. It's not broken. It's simple as that. Matter of fact, if we took out our energy, all the oil that they want, by the way, says he doesn't need Canada, but build the XL pipeline. It's pretty ironic. Take that out. The Americans have a $50 billion surplus on trade if we take out the energy. I'm okay with that, right? I'd want to build, sell them more, by all means, but everyone's a big happy family. And then he wants to come in and, you know, disturb everything. Go after the rest of the world that's causing you a problem, not your number one customer. Ontario alone is your 3rd largest trading partner in the world. You know, treat us with respect. 50% of your high-grade nickel that your military and manufacturing relies on, 50% that you use, it comes from Sudbury. And emphasize high grade, because there's other nickel around the world. China has the market cornered. But guess what? If we got to stockpile that nickel here or sell it to the rest of the world and shut down your manufacturing, your military, I'll do it in a heartbeat. You know, to the president, I'm a different type of cat. I'll fight tooth and nail. I'm not going to roll over and get annihilated. I'll fight right to the death. Not that there's going to be any deaths, but, you know, the economy. I will go on. He has no idea. He has absolutely no idea.